Say, man, you're in a privileged position right now. You're in a place to be. Matter of fact, a place to G with the one and only S&OOP. So what you gonna do now? Turn that shit up.
When are we making them beats again?
Trenches. Come get some work on your free time. Nico Trenches between O-line and D-line. Getting sacks and quarterbacks, you know we ride. When you kick at 45, keep your nose on his inside. You better punch some, keep your feet moving, dog. My 3 tech and 1 tech, they some real hoes. My DN 6'5", he ain't got no flaws. Good grades, good feet, man, he got it all.
I understand.
Crazy on him.
California, so it'd be cool for family to come back to Canada. I always talk about my American buddies. You guys never get. I'm like, spend time
To the pro.
somewhere up in my hometown. What do you think? This is way back home. You know, it's supposed to be back at
You gotta spin. That's when you get around the edge and you gotta bend. I'm in the trenches where the lineman at. I'm in the trenches where the lineman at.
When are we making them beats
I'm
again?
in the trenches where the lineman at. Where the lineman at. Where the lineman at. D tackle, do your dance.
Good evening, everybody. Happy New Year. We are back. Bushleague Sports, episode 46. I'm stoked to be back for the new year. We're going to get you dialed in and get you firing for the new year. It's NFL playoffs. We got basically 5 games down, 1 to go. I'm going to be joined, as always, by my co-host, Trav. No sleep. We're going to get into our picks that we dialed in before the show started. We're going to tell you who we think are the players to pick, as always, and then get into some pack rips. We're going to be giving away some packs end of the show. I got a couple here. We got a few different ones. We're going to do some trivia. So all you got to do, tune in on YouTube, wherever. I don't know if you can comment on X or on Instagram. I don't know if we see it in the YouTube. We'll find out. If we don't and we ignore you, oh, well, sorry. We'll get you next time. But we're going to be giving them away. All you got to do is join. We're going to do some trivia throughout the show. You can win a pack. I'm just stoked to be back. Oh, man, it's been fun. I've missed it. But there's been a lot that's gone on, right? We got a couple teams moving on past the divisional or wild card round into the divisional in the NFL. Christmas was fun. I had a good time with my kid. I know Trav had a lot of fun with his family too. And it's just good. So it's stoked to be back. But I'm going to bring the man, the myth, the legend himself up and see what he's been up to over the holidays. Brother, what's going on? How you been?
What's up, dude? Man, stoked to be back with you here. Bushleague Sports episode 46. Sunday nights aren't the same when we're not doing this. I don't care if it's the holidays, man. I love being here on Sunday nights, hanging out with you, dude. It's a blast. But hey, I wanted to say something in the intro today. I've watched it 100 times, but I never really kind of dialed in and focused, man. That board slide on that, was that a kink rail? That was pretty sick, man. Dropping in board slide on a kink rail snowboarding, man. Frontside board slide. That was pretty sweet.
My buddy Joey, I think, was with me with that, and another friend filmed it. That was many years ago, just at the skate park. We used to set it up, and we had a little picnic table we'd set up on top of the quarter pipe to get a little speed. And then that was like it would be the flat down, the big one at the skate park. I couldn't really hit that big one on my skateboard. It was too big for me, but I used to hit it a lot on my snowboard. So yeah, that one was a fun board slide. It was hard to lock that one in on that tiny little rail that long, but that was the glory days, my friend.
Dude, I love it, man. I love to see it. I actually got to get out to Northern California for the holiday. I got a lot of family up there.
That was sick.
So got out to there, hit up North Star Mountain Resort with some of the Shredding Sassy community. My boy Jacoby had a great time, man. It was my first time on the mountain this year. I definitely need to get back out there here again before the end of the season. Living here in Texas, traditionally we don't get a lot of snow, but guess what, man? We got dumped on this week. Absolutely insane. We got dumped on with snow. The kids are out of school, just having an absolute blast. My son has been sick now for the last 2 days because he spent 8 hours a day outside in all the snow. Like kid just woke up in the morning, put his snow shit on, went outside and had a great old time. So he's paying for it now, but they don't get to experience that here like you guys do up there. So it's really cool, man. It's been a great one. What have you been up to, man? What's going on with the fam, with the kid? What have you been up to over the break?
No, I stuck around home for the most part because work. I got one less employee this Christmas. Obviously, I had some really good guys that work for me, and one guy there wanted to make sure he had a little bit of time with his fam and stuff. So stuck around. But my mom came down to visit. That was nice. She came down for 3-4 days, Had my girl for quite a few days over the holidays, so it was fun, kind of bringing the joy of Christmas to her and doing the Santa stuff and hiding some gifts here and there, and it just, I guess, mostly just enjoy watching the magic in her eyes for it all. Is kind of, I'm sure, the same for you. Just trying to make magical moments, and went out snowmobiling a few times and stuff. So it was good. But no, I was stoked to see that you got out too with Jacoby. Obviously, he's a beauty. He's helped with some of the Bushleague stuff and made us some cool gifts in the past. So I was stoked to see you guys unite, because I don't think he made it out when we were doing Shredfest, did he?
He didn't. That was so I've known him for 2 years, but that was my first time meeting him in person. And it was just, it was a cool time. And, over the last 5 years since I moved to Texas, I haven't got to ride that much. So it's fun. Snowboarding is very similar to riding a bike. You get out there, you do one run, and then it's off to the races, man. Butter and jibbing, having a good old time. So,
I mean, some of it fades as you get a little older.
Oh yeah.
And the one thing I noticed is like, okay, so I can get out there, I do 1 or 2 runs, I'm warmed up, I'm good. And then, okay, I'm going to start hucking threes. I'm going to start hitting rails. I'm going to start doing some stuff. Sure, all good. And I can still, I'm not as good as I used to be, but I can still get through it. But it's the end of the day when after you're like, wait, why is my neck killing me? And it's simply just from like turning it. You haven't even fallen, but you're just old, right? And just like the falls are taking you out. You're twisting and your hips sore. And like, there's been days where I go out and I'm like, definitely don't recall taking any wipes at all. And I'm just like beat after, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I think my legs were something that, I just kind of forgot about. It was a POW day. So, getting through that tough POW, that it's just a blast. But then, you're halfway down a tree run and you're like, oh man, my legs are pumping. But yeah, of course, as you age, you do lose a little bit of that. I wasn't hitting any booters, that's for sure. But I was still out there having a good time and getting a little silly.
I'm dodging the larges for the most part, and definitely the XLs these days. If I get back, I hope to spend more time on the mountains when I'm like maybe in my 40s a bit. Maybe I'll get it back a little later. But right now it's like I'll hit the smalls 100%. I'll probably still hit the mediums, but I'm iffy on the larges nowadays.
Do you know what was cool out there was, growing up, you and I are the same age, nobody wore helmets. It was almost like laughable when people had helmets on, especially 100%. Snowboarders.
Look at me. I am the way I am because I hit my head so many times.
Yeah, man, I knocked myself out plenty of times, I'm sure, on the mountain, but 98% of the people on the mountain had helmets on. And I thought that was awesome. It wasn't just the beginners. It was the most skilled and experienced snowboarders out there all rocking some kind of bucket. And I need to get one. I need to get a bucket for sure.
100%. I used to be like, I would only wear it if I was hitting like big park booters, or if I was going out for like a day at like the Olympic Park back in the day. Then I would wear it. But if I was just going riding or just doing like rail runs or street stuff, I would never wear them. And now I 100%, like backcountry, I would wear it too back in the day. But now like I wear it everywhere. And honestly, it's like even for stuff that's easy, you just never know. There's always those 1 or 2 spills where you just eat it. Having the helmet eat it instead of the back of your skull is so much better. And like, just even one thing I noticed too, you're going through tree runs and stuff. I love the POW. It's honestly like super beneficial. You can just like headbutt branches and stuff, and you literally don't have to worry about it. Like, it's actually super sweet.
Dude, I love it. And yeah, you're right. Just the littlest things, just depending on how you whip your body back, it doesn't matter if you're 40 feet up or 3 feet up. That's going to happen for sure. Hey, we got JT in the comments. Jonathan Thompson. Bonus is the headphones in the helmet, in the ear pads is dope. So JT, give me some recommendations. I need some recommendations on some helmets, because that's going to be my next purchase from a snowboard perspective. I need to find a helmet.
I wish I remembered what brand mine is off the top of my head. It's a pretty standard brand, but I would just get anything that fits your head nice. It's a good quality helmet that has a nice, I like having, obviously a nice ear cover. Your skate helmets aren't going to, or you can get one that is a skate helmet that just has tuck-in earmuffs. They're good, but I don't like them. They fall in and out on me. But just any good earmuff thing. And as for headphones, I mean, up to you. He's saying he's got MIPS, make sure it's MIPS, or he's got a a gyro currently. For myself, I'll even just cut, like I cut it usually and put my own headphones in them. Back in the day, it used to be wired ones. Now I just put like a wireless headphone. I prefer them in the padding of the headphone as opposed to in my ear in case I do take a hard slam. So I'll literally just cut slits in them, put them up in and have, have a way to seal them. And then it's in my thing. And I can still hear my friends too. So that's how I roll.
What's awesome is like, you're just like memories back to riding as a kid in high school with my buddies. And like, we used to like wear hoodies a lot being on the East Coast. And, I'd have when iPods came out, I had the giant iPod, but I also had a Walkman that would go in here, and I'd cut a little hole on the inside of my pocket. I cut a little hole and run it through the inside up to my ears. And
then it was like massive innovation when like brands like Volcom and all the skate brands and stuff would like build in a little slit and you could put the wire through. And it was like, this is the coolest jacket, like 100% paying 400 bones for this, mom, because my headphones totally connect.
We're from a different generation now, dude. We're from a different generation now. They got the raddest shit now, man.
We're gonna have to do one day on the show here just for stuff. I should write it down, but we should do like, and maybe when we have more than like 17. No, actually, we got 34 listeners. We're rolling. But what was like your first cassette or your first CD? That's something I would love to get into one day. That'd be fun. I know it's maybe not fully sports, but it'd be cool.
No worries. Oh,
33. Someone dropped off. They were sick of our trash already.
Yeah, right. They weren't impressed with the hoodie talk, but yeah, absolutely. That'd be a blast, man. I definitely got a first CD. I think I got a CD before I got a cassette tape, but when I turned 16, my car had cassette tapes, so I had to go buy cassette tapes instead of CDs. So that's a whole different story. It's been it was wild though, that's for sure.
Nice, I love it. Any other hot tales or anything you want to get into before we jump into some other stuff here?
Not really, dude. Not really. Coaching hockey's been going good. Season's back in session with the Mites. Had a game last weekend. Got the dub, and we'll see what happens, man. We got some tough games coming up. Being a Mite hockey coach is an absolute blast. So just stoked to be back at it. Kids are back in school, and we're back in business at Bushleague Sports.
Love it, brother. Well, I say let's get into it. Weekly picks, baby.
Yee.
Could have bought a lamb truck, but I bought another eight figures just came in. It just ain't no play, blah blah blah. Champ, you the great, ain't no way, blah blah blah.
Weekly picks. All right, we got segments. We're rolling. We are like literally in the future in 2025. Let's go. We are advanced. Love to see it. Shouts out Dr. Bombay for the Death Row mixtape tracks. We're just buzzing around here. But we got no time to pander. We got no time to giggle about the segments. We got to get into the first game. Texans, Chargers. I don't know. A big whooping. CJ Stroud, not looking that great all season, but looking great. Gets his team into the playoffs and then just stammers through the Chargers. What a game today or yesterday, sorry, for them.
Yeah,
Defense solid.
I absolutely was taking the Chargers in that game. Obviously, Justin Herbert into the playoffs, performing well enough. Not a whole lot of interceptions on the year. Had a great rookie receiver and Lad McConkey. Just kind of felt like they were going to roll through the Texans after, as you said, CJ Stroud, struggled most of this year. I know had some injuries in the offensive lineup with them, some down receivers, and didn't happen. Justin Herbert, 4 interceptions. Whew, 4 interceptions. That the most in a game. That's just not the most in a game, but that's just you can't win a game.
Not in a playoff game anyways. I mean, I know Jared Goff won one with 5 interceptions this season, but that's very rare. And in the playoffs, it's probably not going to happen. Your competition is just too good. But I know I'm apt to tell the listeners here that, I picked the Texans, even though it's not the case. We both
absolutely did.
Ahead of it. But why don't we before we get into it all and talk about all of them, because, we gotta tell the good people in honesty what we thought, what we were going to pick. So why don't we do a quick minute? I'm going to call the games. We're going to say who we would have said if they hadn't been played yet.
Okay. Can I change mine?
Nope, you're not allowed. We called it in on Friday, so we're going to go. But first game in the wild card round, Texans, Chargers. I think the Chargers are going to win that one. But
Yeah, absolutely. Going with the Chargers, going with Justin Herbert over Stroud. He's in the sophomore slump right now.
we're idiots.
Oh, so dumb.
All right. Game number 2, divisional Saturday nighter. Ravens versus your Steelers. You got the hat. You're repping the boys. Who you got taking it home?
I got to stick with the Steelers. I got to stick with my team. I picked them every game this season, and I'm going to continue to do that. Every game that we're on this show, I'm going to pick the Steelers because I got to stick with the boys, man. The black and gold. Here we go.
I like your pride. I'm going with the Ravens. Lamar and the boys have been absolutely stunning this whole year, and I think it's their year. They're absolutely going to put a run on everybody. And speaking of run, Derrick Henry probably well over 100 yards. But I'm lucky for my favorite team. I am not going to put the faith in them. Broncos, Bills, game number 1 Sunday morning. I'm going with the Bills.
Yeah, you got to go with the Bills here, even though I'm pretty disappointed in you and your commitment to your team. They should be disappointed in you as well. But you got to go with the Bills. And wasn't the Bills your Super Bowl pick? So
exactly, and that's the only reason I had to pick against my Broncos, because I got to prove to the good people of Bushleague Sports that I know what I'm talking about. And I can't just pick them and then, see the little fancy shiny thing. Better pick against my Bills. No, I'm sorry, Broncos. I love you. You've had a great season. Thank you for getting back in the playoffs after a long run. But it wasn't your year. It's Josh Allen's year to win the Super Bowl. Moving on. Packers, Eagles.
Yeah,
the
got to go.
Game of Sunday. That game is live right now, and I think we were unanimous taking the Eagles.
Yeah, so you and I both took the Eagles, right? Looking at the Eagles offense and Saquon Barkley just, unstoppable. Jordan Love coming off of I think it was a hand injury last week. He didn't play the end of the game. Was able to suit up. So it's just going to be a tough look for Jordan Love, and the Eagles are going to fly.
Saquon will run all over him. I might have something to say about Saquon here in the next segment. We'll chat on it, but allegedly may or may not have had a big giant hoot and thought that game was live, but it's actually Commanders Buccaneers. Who you got in that one, buddy?
Facts. So, I picked the Commanders, right? I'm really impressed with Jaden Daniels and how he's been able to command.
He had a big giant cut. It was like 1 millimeter long. Did you see it?
I didn't. No, I didn't see it. So I'll have to go back and take a look afterwards. But
if it was any other player on the team, they wouldn't have showed it. It was like this big.
Just a great rookie season, as Bo Nix has had a great rookie season. But Jaden Daniels has more of an offense around him right now with Scary Terry. If you've been getting your hands on any of them Jaden Daniels rookie cards, the value is going up, man. The kid's looking absolutely electric. And speaking of that, we'll be ripping some at the end of the show. We're going to get into the first trivia question here in about 15 minutes. So if you're you're on, tune in YouTube. You just comment the answer. First person to comment the answer going to get a point. We're going to have a question a little later in the show. But yeah, Jaden Daniels' stock is rising, and I took the Bucks. So I'm going Bucks. You're going Commanders. Let's go.
Love to see it. I had to do that to get the clip because I knew I failed us earlier.
No worries.
And last game, Vikings, Rams. Obviously, they have moved that game. We want to send our biggest condolences out to everybody in LA. The fires going on, however they were started, that to me couldn't have been natural, but we won't get into that. I just want to send my condolences to all the families, everybody out there. I hope they stay safe. It's one of the biggest catastrophes ever on the West Coast. And just so many homes lost, so many lives lost, so many people displaced. I know they'll be playing that game in Arizona, but we wish everybody the best, and hopefully everybody stays safe. And I couldn't imagine losing all my stuff, right? Like there's just so many things that are sentimental to you. It'd crush your soul, right? So
I agree. I'm a bit of a hoarder at times.
Me too.
But yeah, you're right. Sending good vibes out to the people of Southern California and LA. Obviously, America's with you. Obviously, Canada's with you. Just good vibes. All we can send.
Yeah, in Canada, we send our water bombers down there. We're helping the people out, right? We get the good Canadian people come down there. Someone runs a fucking drone into one of our water bombers. Do you hear that?
I did. Damaged it, man.
Like, what do you guys do? You're trying to get some content for social media. Who was it? Jack Doherty? I don't know what they got going on, but you got to not be interfering with these prestigious Canadian water bombers in your airspace, just trying to help the good people of California extinguish a few fires. My favorite thing too, I said at one point, I was like, hey, Why don't they have any infrastructure like to use ocean water to put out the fires? And everybody's like, well, you could, because like salt water will kill everything. If the whole city's gonna burn, you can dump salt water on it. It'll be okay. What is every water bomber doing? They're flying in, scooping salt water, and putting salt water on it.
Yep.
It's crazy to me. I know we're a sports show again. I just went on an absolute tangent that we never even planned. But like crazy to me. Like you are beside the water. I'm sorry. There should be a little bit better of a plan in place there. But keep your drones out of restricted airspace because of you. People can't have fun things, right? They're going to take away my drones. The water bombers crashed. I know there was people being like, oh, whoever did it, like there was probably an accident. 12 months isn't, that's too much of a punishment. No, like that person should pay for the damages on the water bomber, pay for the downtime. And literally, however many homes that thing could have saved per day, 100 a day, like I don't give it. Like, $1 billion. Make your family and your mother and your children pay for generations, not me, the taxpayer. Get out of here. Anyways, back sports.
That's a tough one, man. It's a tough look, that's for sure. But as you said, the final wild card game of Super Wild Card Weekend. I don't know why the hell they're calling it Super Wild Card Weekend. Is the Vikings and the Rams. I'll tell you what, man. I'm going to just start it right here. I took the Vikings in this one, or I'm taking the Vikings in this one. But, every minute of every day, I'm kind of like, I don't know, man. The Rams have looked pretty decent to finish out the year. Sticking with the Vikes, Justin Jefferson, 2 TDs. It's going to happen, man. It's destiny.
I honestly can't remember what I told you the other day that I picked for teams. But I think I'm going to have to go with the Vikings. That's the squad. I think the Rams, like you said, they have looked really good, but Sam Darnold and Justin Jefferson and the whole squad has looked really good this year. So I'm going with the Vikings.
Agree, man. Dude, we made it. We made it through.
Nice. I don't know if we did it in time or not, but we're living it up. Let's see. We got a couple comments. People are dialing in. Oh, production has gone up, Travel. Yeah. Must be paying the employees. No, we're trying to get the employees paid. We're going broke over here. So I figured I add a couple little fancy graphics. I entertain the people a little longer. You stick around, That's all we're going for. Classic Tyrone off-topic rant. You love him, Alan. You text me later and I'll rant about something different. Anyways, we got to dial in. But I think where we're going to run from here, we don't have a segment for this one because these employees don't get paid enough. But I'd like to get into the Bushleague Play of the Week. What do we do? Spin the chair? Yeah. Dun, dun, dun. Bushleague Play of the Week. Okay,
Let's
let's
go.
get in the first one, baby. This one just happened earlier today. I want to know your thoughts on this bad boy. We're going to grab the new video scene here. We got an update here. We got all kinds of fancy things going on nowadays. New graphics. Employees got paid a decent minimum wage. But I want to know your thoughts on this one today. Just screwing everybody's gambling. And it takes a slide. Open 70-yard TD. I mean,
it's interesting.
Oh, sorry. I wanted to catch that last line here. One sec, buddy. Catch what Brady says here.
Saquon will take a slide and actually end it. I don't know if I'd have been as classy, just so you know.
I love Brady. At least he's honest in the booth, right? Sorry, I didn't mean to, but I was like, you got to catch that one. I clipped that extra because he's like, I don't know if I'd have been that. I wouldn't have either. I mean, go get the touchdown. You're up 17 points. There's no time left. Even his teammates after were coming up to him being like, hey, why didn't you run it in? You should have got it. His coach was like, you could have done it. And this could be controversial. Sorry to interrupt you and sorry to just give it the greatest one-liner we've ever had here, but Saquon's just giving up all these points week after week for what? You're not going to win the Super Bowl, buddy. You may as well go get him.
Yeah, no, I agree. So talking about Saquon and not playing in that final game and not going after Dickerson's record is pretty wild. I get it. He's a team guy, right? Big team guy. Didn't have much of a team around him in New York. Now he does. And
I also think though, if it's week 18 and you're going to break a record, like you should just always sit because I don't know. Records broken week 18. I'm like,
true.
It's such a weird thing to just add a whole extra game. It's like screws the whole history of the sport.
I was just going to say, and obviously Dickerson didn't have a week 18 to do anything with. But back to the play, you're up 2 scores you're in field goal range. If it doesn't work out for you, yeah, put the ball in the end zone. What are you doing? They're not going to be able to come back with 3 scores. It's just not going to happen with 53 seconds left in the game. By the time you get to the end zone, maybe it's 48 seconds left in the game. You need 3 scores. It wouldn't happen. Actually, a buddy of mine had a 5-leg parlay, and this was the 4th leg of it was a Saquon TD, and it didn't happen. So, feeling for him, reeling for him right now as he goes through and misses on that. So, way it goes. I think you put that in the end zone and really seal the game.
Yeah, I mean, I think every time just go run her in, get her done. I don't know. There's 1 or 2 exceptions, but that wasn't one of them.
So exactly, they had 1 timeout left. They were past the 2-minute warning. So I mean, there was no way. There was no chance they were coming back. So get the ball in the end zone, celebrate a little bit.
Yep. No, I'm with you. Jonathan said, we're going to talk any college football. You know what? I planned on putting it in the script for today, but we did not. But we can touch on it for a quick minute. Obviously, the final, if you're down, Trav, I'm down to touch on it for a quick minute. But the final set, Notre Dame, Ohio State, 5th place versus 6th place. Kind of ironic, right? It's always a 4-team. This year's the first team that, our first year with a 12-team playoff. And number 5 and 6, the teams that would not have just been on the outside in most years, are the teams going to the ship this year.
Yeah, the ranking system this year at the end of the year was really strange. The best records in the MAC and in the Big 12 got I believe it was the 3 and 4 seed. Traditionally, that wouldn't happen. Ohio State, I believe, would actually be in the top 4 hadn't we been in the BCS 12-team playoff like this. So they would have likely been a little bit higher. I don't know if Notre Dame would have been in there or not. I don't know if Notre Dame's schedule was as strong as Ohio State's, but man, we had some great games this past week. I don't know if it was the weekend. I believe it was this past week.
Notre Dame, like that was a tight game right to the end, right? They didn't start out looking too good. I think tied 10-10 going into the half, and then battled it back and forth 24-24, and then a field goal to winner in the end. That was a tight game.
It was, and there was a interception. Notre Dame was driving an interception with like 40-50 seconds left. Penn State interception. Penn State QB got the ball, started marching, and then he threw a pick, a really uncharacteristic interception from him. Threw the ball as he was getting hit. He absolutely did not need to do that. They could have held and went into overtime. However, he threw that interception. Notre Dame got the ball back, on Penn State's side of the field, got down the field, a couple plays, field goal to win it, game over. Just something that shouldn't have happened. You feel bad, really bad for the Penn State QB. Notre Dame's defense really stepped it up. And,
there was definitely a few Bushleague calls by some refs throughout the weekend too. For sure, I'd say there was a couple. You're like, I don't know, man. I know there's a couple teams petitioning the college football playoffs after their weekend too, which I don't think ever amounts to anything. But
sure. And then looking at the Ohio State Texas game, Texas was down a tutty, driving, a scoop and score. It was a sack, fumble, scooped up by the guy that hit the QB that hit Ewers, and took it to the end zone, ended up finishing the game 14 ahead, but that was a closer game than it looked. So the Texas boys went home. They were playing at Jerry's World at AT&T Stadium, but Texas sunk and Ohio State's in the final. My neighbor went to the game with his 6-year-old son. They're Ohio State fans. They had an absolute blast. I can't even imagine. I bet it was electric.
Yeah, that'd be a good time for sure. No, I love it. Before we move all the way on from football to a couple more Bush League plays of I guess it's been a few weeks now, but we got a couple names we gotta just not impressed with. Terry McLaurin, James Conner, Javonte Williams, Najee Harris. What do they all got in common? Guys that were probably started in the fantasy playoffs who put up 1.5, 2 points. What are we doing? What are we doing? We have faith in you. We hold you on our roster for 16, 17 weeks. I don't give a care. You don't ever tell me, fantasy sports don't matter. You take a pay cut in half then, because half of us aren't even watching this silly sport if we aren't gambling on it. So come on, get real. You want to get that big $19 million paycheck, you better cater to the degenerates that are funneling their paychecks into this. Come on.
Yeah, you've been a big proponent of that, and the NFL is right. I think the NFL is starting to cater way more to the fantasy player. Obviously, you see all the pundits and all the segments they have on it. So it's absolutely wild. But Najee Harris,
Well, it's even like, oh, sorry, I'll shut up.
You're good. He's just been up and down for the last several seasons. He'll go off 2-3 games in a row, 20 points, and then he'll lay an egg, and Warren will have a huge game. That's just, he's been consistently inconsistent, honestly, since he's been a Steeler.
And I was going to trade him almost like on the trade deadline, but I was like, man, I might need him for insurance to start him, like just in case. And that's what it turned into. I ended up with an injury. I had to start him. I wish I would have traded him because I would have started anybody else on earth and I might have won.
Yeah, running back pools are really low in the NFL. So when you get a starter, you keep a starter unless you can get another starter for him. So I definitely understand the challenge of that trade, and you had to do what you had to do.
Yep, for sure. No, but that's just the way she went. So few people lost their chip, and that's the way she goes. I was going to ramble on about something, but I didn't want to interrupt you. I should have wrote it down.
No, you're good. You're good, man. Did you win in any of your leagues? I know you play in 4 or 5.
Yeah, I won a couple of them. I'm John, who's listed in here. Me and him ended up in the final of the Bushleague Media League, which we'll touch on a little later in the show. Near the end there, we'll touch on the Friends Fantasy League and all that, but he took me out in the finals. Again, if I would have started anybody in my flex but Terry McLaurin, I would have won because I lost by like 18 points. Terry McLaurin had 1.5, and everybody who was on my bench had like 20, 23 points, whether it was Puka or Brian Thomas Jr. All these guys are like, and you look at me like Puka's on the bench. Yeah.
Starting
Mike Evans, Amon-Ra St. Brown. Okay. So 1-2. And now in my flex, I'm fighting between Terry McLaurin, Brian Thomas Jr., right? And McLaurin is every week, 15, 20, 15, 20, 15, 20. Some of those, Puka and the other guy, are up and down, right? They're 5 or 40, 5 or 40. Yeah. So I'm like, I'm going to go with the safe McLaurin 1 point.
Man, that's tough. That's tough. I'm in 2 leagues. I was in first and second through the season. First place in one league, second place in the other league. Lost in both of the semifinals, and then lost in both of the third place games. Man, I didn't make my money back in either league, dude. It was a Bushleague beatdown all over Sleepy Sleeps teams. It was sad.
No, I had third place in, I think, our classic league. A dynasty, I also lost that one in the finals, but can't complain. So I lost in the finals, so got second. But I also ended up with the pick that will be first pick next year. So it's pretty good. Finished second in the league, and I have first overall dynasty pick next year. So that's a good run. I'm stoked on that. And it was a good season. And I'm looking forward to drafting with people next year through our platform and launching that hopefully later in the year and getting everybody onto that. You can come join some drafts and rips with us. It'll be fun. But I want to get into the first trivia question before we move on to maybe a little bit of hockey here. But I want to know, should we go the hockey question, football question? What do you want?
I think we got to do football, man. I think we're closing up football.
I think it's probably maybe an easy question, maybe not. We want the first 2. I guess they'll just copy each other here. So first person to answer on the YouTube, please. What number of teams have never won a Super Bowl that are in the playoffs this year? And if you can, name the 5 teams.
All right. We'll have to see what happens. How long are we going to give them? Let's move on to hockey and see
if the whole show, buddy, to figure it out. We gave them a hint.
Do you want me to do the Jeopardy song? Oh.
Dun 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 dun. No, they can have the whole show. I don't really care.
Well, we got JT with the number. I think that's coming in here.
Sorry, JT, we won't accept it. The host gave you the answer. We're going to need more detail. Thanks. All right. Well, I say we get into one of the biggest whoopings, one of the biggest upsets, maybe of the entire century around these parts. It's time for one of my favorite segments.
Say, man, you You know the best part of waking up is not giving a fuck? Now you do now. Drop this big Snoop DOW, their folk mixtape, and this is for you.
Team Canada, what are we doing? That's the Bush League beatdown of the, I guess, year so far. It might even last the whole year. The boys didn't even do anything this year. Absolutely brutal. We didn't get very far. I mean, they're young kids, so we're not going to razz on them too hard, right? They're out there doing their thing. But, man, they didn't play very well. We'll get into a few Bush League calls from the refs here in a little bit, but they didn't do themselves any favor. There was a lot of just chat up the middle and just stuff that I would yell at my rec team defense for as a goalie. Like, what are you guys doing, right?
Yeah, very uncharacteristic of Canada, and this is probably the Bush League beatdown of the year, because last year Canada was in the same situation in the juniors. So it's been unfortunate for sure for you guys up in Canada, but down in America, dude, we're celebrating. I'm doing like the Trump dance. What's the Trump dance? This is what I was doing afterwards.
First time ever back to back for you guys. So I mean, obviously, congratulations to the America. I'll be an honorable Canadian and give you guys the congrats. I know even people were like, "Oh, disrespectful! They're singing the Canadian goal song in the locker room after." I mean, I'm a Canadian. I thought it was funny. Good for them. Give it to the. I mean, what are you going to do? I would sing your song. I give a crap. Right?
I think that was the Czechs that were doing that. I think that was the Czechs.
Yeah, either way, hilarious.
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. Sorry, I don't even know what I'm talking about.
No, you're good. You're good. But
beat by so many teams, it's not even. Can't even keep track.
Yeah, like you said, this was the first time USA repeated as World Junior Champions, and it's kind of hard to think if they'll ever lose again. I mean, just Canada. I like Canada's clearly on the decline in hockey, and
I've been saying for a long time though, and I think I've said it on the show. Like, every player who's good ends up in America, right? Like, because 90% of the teams are there, right? So every stud Canadian becomes an American father to an American kid, right? And in the end, all the talent ends up in America. You guys you steal it all.
So I see that, and I would say that probably 1 to 2 players per team probably had a dad that played in the NHL. That's honestly where it's at, and you're right, they would most likely play for America. On the Czech team, Peter Sikora was on the Czech team, and I believe his dad played in the NHL and was Peter Sikora for the Penguins for a while. So just the legacies in the league are pretty cool, and now they all play for Team USA. So I mean, we're good with that. We're good with that down here. We'll take our win.
And I mean, I'm not going to sit here and cry about it. I do think that's like a fact, right? Like, I think it does factor in, and it does matter, because all the best players in the world, they end up in America, and they're the most likely, people whose children will follow suit, will go down that run. So it's definitely a benefit, I think.
And the growth of the sport in America due to all these high level players. I mean, I think we've talked about it in the past where, from the Lemieux days, 20 years later, you saw a long and strong. Let's go. Group of
I've heard that a lot
of kids coming out and making the higher leagues from Pittsburgh just based on starting to love the game because of Lemieux, or from LA and Gretzky, and here in Dallas from Madonna. The growth here is pretty cool to see. Now we just need to make it cost effective, cost conscious, because people are getting priced out. People are priced out of hockey 100%. We talked about skiing and snowboarding being a rich white guy sport. Well, hockey's not far off from that. Why
are they got to charge so much to be frozen? Every sport that's frozen, they're just like, let's charge $300. Yeah, I think a day pass at Park City, Utah, $300. Like,
yeah. Oh man,
what are we doing?
I'm about to go off on a tangent, but Park City, the strike just cleared over the holiday. The ski patrol was on strike. There was 3-hour-long lift lines. It's Christmas to New Year's, and everybody's at Park City. They spent their hard-earned money, and they got 2 runs a day. It was absolute mess.
No, I heard all about that. We'll get into that a little later in the Sassy.
Yeah, let's do it.
We'll tune into that for sure. But no, it's at the end of the day, the World Juniors and all these sports are, we see all this talent, but it's getting expensive. And I just say that because it seems like all the winter sports are the most expensive for whatever reason. Obviously facilities and blah, blah, blah. I kind of get the reason, but it's just too expensive. It's way too crazy. It's inflated at like 5 times the rate of the rest of the world for whatever reason.
Dallas has some great youth programs. They have some great ways to get youth hockey gear for relatively low cost. They're subsidized in certain aspects. So that's really great here. I'd like to learn more about different youth programs across America and across Canada, because that's the biggest hurdle that the growth of hockey faces right now is the cost.
Yep, no, for sure. I don't disagree at all. And that's always, I think, kind of been that barrier to entry, because you need, a couple $1,000s worth of equipment to travel, et cetera, et cetera. So it's always nice when, there is community ways to get more kids in equipment and on the ice. But before we roll away from the World Juniors too, I want to go on one last thing. To me, one of the more Bush League things to go on in the World Juniors. I know that, like I said, Canada did it to themselves. They deserve to lose, in my humble opinion. But I think there was a couple plays that were a little egregiously called by the refs. There was a couple penalties on Canada that I don't agree with, and I want to take a look at one if you're into it.
Yeah, let's do it.
Right here, this is the one that kind of ended it, right? So I want to take a real good look at that play, because, and I'll shut up and we'll listen to it one more time. So I don't know what your thoughts on it, but Canada, they get called on a kneeing penalty earlier in the game that they call a major on it. I don't think it was, should have been more than a 2-minute minor. So that really goes into affect the Canadian team. But on that play there, just watching it, I see the Canadian player going in on a straight line, going for a hit. I see a Czech player going in to go around him, realizing he's about to get crushed. Coming back, it's his leg that's staying out there, like way out to the side, and then knee-on-knee contact. I didn't see the Canadian player come off his line whatsoever.
Can you show it one more time?
Yep.
Yeah,
absolutely. Here, let's see if
we can. Thank you. I just want to see it after you gave that breakdown of it.
Let's go. I'm going to go put it as the background. I'm going to take me and you down for 1 second.
All right, perfect. Yeah, let's go.
I like putting you up by yourself for a second.
No, I know. I just see my face like, oh yeah.
But it's his leg that's the one that goes out, and then he moves his body and leaves his leg there. If I personally look at it, in my humble opinion, as it's kind of a null and void play. Guy's going for a hit. Guy's trying to dodge it. There's some contact. It's nothing. And if anything, if anybody in the whole situation, I don't give a bit that's Team Canada. The only person I would give a kneeing penalty to is the guy whose leg is stuck out with his knee out at the guy who's coming to hit him. I would personally only give the penalty to the Czech player, and I'm a guy who's refed some hockey. And so they were betting on the underdog, no question about it. Those refs need to be investigated immediately, because that's not a penalty at all. And the crazy part about it is they do have this replay. They do have that. They did see that. So what were you looking at?
So I'm going to give you my take on it after seeing it here and hearing your explanation for it. I do not think the Czech player is at kneeing fault there. I don't think there's a penalty on the play at all. The way the Canadian player is coming in, if you look at it, his knee is protruding. However, his left knee is protruding. However, his knee was like that for 8 feet, for 9 feet. He did not change his line at all. And that's something that I didn't see until you just said it. Previously, I was like, well, he's kind of sticking his knee out. The Czech player is not at fault there at all, because he's trying to get the hell out of the way. He didn't just kind of dangle his leg behind. He, on his edge, tries to push out of the way. And yes, his leg is hanging behind, but that is absolutely not intentional. You can tell by the way his body is going, right? Absolutely not intentional. Should be no call. I think the fact that the player's knee was bent, the Canadian player's knee was bent going in. Okay, I'm with you there, John. Cleared, no penalty. I agree with TKB. I mean, you agree with him that it should be no penalty, not that the Czech player is definitely not.
Well, but that was what I said. I said it should be no penalty. But if
Agreed,
anyone's getting a penalty, it's not the Canada guy. Like,
and that was a 5-minute major.
Yeah, and the game. Well, I think that one they gave him 2. That one they decided, oh no, it's just 2. But it was a game-winning goal with like a minute, 2 minutes left in the game. But that knee you see from the Canadian player in the left too, that is getting in, turning, setting your weight on your leg, putting your shoulder where it's supposed to be, not pedaling your legs because that's charging, and settling into your hit and going in for a good hit. And so when you see the replay, you have to. I can see in fast time, you're like, what the hell happened? I don't know. But once you see the replay, you have to be like, nothing happened. And at the very worst, it's Czech guy for leaving his leg out. But he shouldn't get one either.
I agree. What you'll see in those kneeing plays is the player will try to get out of the way, and the opponent that's going in for the check will adjust and try to move with them to get them and leave their knee out. And that's when that knee will happen. However, he did not do that. No, you're good. However, the Canadian player did not do that. He did not move.
Yeah, no, 100%. And usually you're going to see that it's the guy going in for the hit that is the one who puts his leg out because it's the player with the puck trying to dodge him. Here, I don't think he put his leg out at all. And I think it's the other guy who did. But again, just out of purely, I was going to go this way. Holy shit, I'm going to die. I'm going back that way. But again, with the replay they use in the World Juniors, I don't see how that call went against Canada. And then they lose the game with 30 seconds left on that power play. They were going to score every power play almost in the whole series. That the young team on power plays getting the goals pretty much the whole tournament, right? And so it's like you're betting on them, man, because there's no way you make that call.
Yeah, was a tough one. Can you explain the Latvia loss now? No, I'm kidding.
No, I mean, the boys just didn't play good. Like, I don't know. We have 4 of the top scoring players in all of the leagues across Canada and America who are Canadian, who didn't even get put on the team. So there is a whole lot of questions that I definitely have, because how do you leave literally 4 of like the 5 top scoring players off your roster out of, we didn't think they'd work with line mates? Bring them to camp and find a place. And like, I don't know, man, those kids are that good. I don't care about your chemistry. You put the 12 or 18, 20 best kids in the whole country there, like Trav saying, Iginla, there's a few of them. Like, you put all of them there and then let them do their thing. And who the hell are you to decide what chemistry is going to be? Let the best kids go and represent the country and see what happens. Because look what you did. It was the worst performance in our history.
Agree. And all you hockey coaches on X, chill out. They are just kids. Canada's going to have 1,000 more golds. These kids are going to go on to win Olympics. They're going to go on to win Stanley Cups. Like, just some of the hate those kids were getting online was it was pretty sad. It was a bummer. That's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna break down the playing, but we're not gonna beat the kids. I mean, they're obviously better than me. They made it further than I ever did and accomplished a dream I wish I would have. Right. So shouts to them. They've played hard and represented the country well, and they just didn't win. And I think a lot of it has to do with the way the team was picked. And I mean, I think some of it too is kids are really trying to put on a one-man show a lot too. They you got to be a little bit better of a teammate out there sometimes too.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Well, we're going to quickly check through who's going to have the most games, least games this week, and then we're going to get into a 5-minute ramble of who we think everybody should pick up. But as always, check out Daily Face-Off. We're not going to make that tool like this at Bushleague Sports. We don't got the time for it, so use that one. It's a great one. Check it out. But this, as always, what we're doing when we're looking at, you're not going to dump your studs. You're definitely going to dump your duds, and you're going to want to try to avoid the teams that are playing 2 games, and you're going to always want to go for 14 games. And this week, there's a ton of them. Many to choose from. I think there's something like 10 or I think 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 teams with 4 games this week. Plenty with 2 games that you're going to want to stay away from. And as I always kind of lean towards, I know me and you chat about it lots, I like to go look for the teams that you're going to be missing that game on Sunday. Can you see my cursor in it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Nice. Yeah, see that Sunday game for me, because you're going to get 4-man games up till Saturday. You can drop that guy, specifically pick up the stats you need on Sunday and fill it in. So these teams over here, like Dallas, Detroit, obviously 2 legendary teams, just absolute beauties, probably the best 2 teams in the whole league. Those teams are playing 4 games a night, and we got quite a few others. Yes, sir.
Dallas and Detroit were both riding 7-game win streaks into today. No, I think Detroit won 7 today, or did they win 8 today? They might have won.
I'm not
8.
sure.
Yeah, they might have won number 8 today. Dallas lost today to Ottawa, but Dallas and Detroit right now are both on fire. So it's going to be some good games here later this week.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll get into a few players from those teams that are hot in a minute here. But no real teams that are standing out without that Thursday and Saturday game. So I think you're mostly you're going to be picking up someone that's getting in a solid 4 games and filling your roster, dumping them on Saturday, and then picking up probably some of these guys. And we'll tell you right now here in a few minutes who we think those players should be. So what are we going to do? 5-minute breakdown on top, maybe a few players to pick?
Yeah, I'm in. Let's do it. Set the clock.
Let's get it. Shouts to Bam Bam Boxing for giving us the timer. We're going to get a 5-minute speed round here of who we think you should be picking up this week, fantasy hockey. Number 1, Jordan Staal. Not a name that really comes to mind a whole lot, but in the last 14 games, Jordan Staal, Carolina, 5 goals, 4 assists. That's pretty solid. And one of the best plus minuses in the league at +5. Just been a solid fantasy player. And we're not just giving like any names here. I'm trying to give names of guys that are, probably ranked in the back 140, 250 that might be available too, right? So it's like, you're going to be like, Jordan Staal, there's other guys, but of course there is, but they're probably picked up. And if they're not, pick a new fantasy league, maybe join one of our Bushleague leagues, because I don't know what you're doing if these guys that are in the top 50 are available.
Yeah, I love Jordan Staal as a pickup. I know I've picked him up and dropped him a couple times this season. As you said, he's at the back end. He's somebody that you're probably not going to carry on your roster all the time, but it's a good pickup for leagues like this. And dude, Jordan Staal's face-off wins, right? Centerman's going to get a lot of face-off wins. He plays
91 this in the last 2 weeks, which is huge, especially if he's like a wing eligible guy. I don't think he is, but huge if you got a face-off league.
Yeah, and plays the PK a lot, so you're going to get some block shots out of him. Not a bad pickup at all, especially with the way he's performing right now.
Absolutely. JT Miller. JT Miller. I said the right name and then thought I didn't. What a Frido. But JT Miller, Vancouver, not a good of a ±-3, but 2 goals, 6 apples in the last 2 weeks. He's coming at us with 20 shots, 73 faceoff wins, 18 hits. Kind of hitting all the categories again. Another, I think, a wing eligible player in some leagues too. So that's an asset that is probably picked up in a lot of leagues, but he's ranked a little tail end. Some people might have missed him because he was injured for a little bit. So if he's somehow sitting there, take him. Someone might have dropped him. I've seen him dropped earlier in the season. So
yeah, Vancouver has been struggling a bit this season. JT Miller maybe trade bait come the trade deadline. If he's available, pick him up 100%. Everyone needs a Gunnar Staal. Talking about Jordan Staal in Carolina, Thunder Bay, Ontario boy, brothers. The 3 Staal brothers, just absolute legends. Those are some great guys for sure.
Love it. Another Canadian pickup that's hot, Nazem Kadri. Been buzzing lately, 2 goals, 4 assists, +3. Just clutch moments. And again, Kadri, usually a guy that's been on most teams, kind of been off the radar since he left Colorado, but resurgence here lately. And a guy who I think might make an impact on your fantasy team going down the stretch here.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And then the last one you got is Ryan Strome out of Anaheim. Tell me what's going on with Ryan.
1 goal, 6 apples. He just heating up lately, obviously moving to a new squad here. They've been kind of big shakeups there in Anaheim a little lately. Obviously, Cam Fowler went out of there. He's playing good in St. Louis. Actually, a guy who's not on the list, but Cam Fowler looking like a top guy again who you might want to put in your fantasy lineup. But Ryan Strome just looking hot at 75 faceoff wins. Another guy that just kind of hitting all those categories if you're in a multi-category league. So that's the top 5 guys I think you should be picking up, looking for in your roster this week. And again, you can always reference that daily faceoff and see which of those guys are playing 4 games. Get them in your lineup.
Yeah, Daily Face-Off has been an unbelievable tool. Like you said, why create something that's already out there and available for everybody to use? So, dude, I love these pickups. The Jordan Stahl, your number one pickup this week. That's a great pickup, and I'm gonna have to look for him in my league. That's for sure.
Nice. Well, we got 1 minute left. I saved the best for last. Two beauties from some, like I said, a couple of the best squads in the league. We're going to see a couple similarities between these boys. But from my Detroit Red Wings, heating up, a big reason that the boys have had 7 or 8 straight. Patrick Showtime Kane. 4 goals, 7 assists, 11 points to say, more than anybody on the list above there. Just absolutely electric. The only thing is, you're not getting a lot of those other stats out of him. He's not getting that face off. He's not getting any hits. He's literally coming in at 0 face off, 0 hits, but 16 shots on goal, 4 of them in the back of the net.
You love to see this guy, and you love to see this guy score, man. He's an absolute beast. But hey, jumping on to the next one, Jason Robertson's absolutely lighting it up right now as well. The Stars are currently without Mason Marchment, without Tyler Seguin. Robo has stepped up to his prime. Last year, he struggled a little bit, but the prior 2 years, 40-plus goal scorer. So you'll see a lot out of Robo as we close out this season.
Yep, 11 points as well. Same thing, 16 shots, 1 face-off, 4 hits. You're getting almost none of those other stats, but they're hitting the top goals and you're getting points. Now, we made it. We did it. We actually finished it off. Shout out to Bam Bam's Fitness. You can check out their workouts live, online. We got the Bam Bam's membership club. You can go in there. There's going to be a couple new supersets every month, as well as joining the Bam Bam's Fitness show, which is going to be 12 days from now. You can come ask Joel any of your workout questions. We'll be live that Friday morning. And as always, come dial in your home workouts and get jacked up like me and Trav here. Love it.
I'll tell you what.
And an honorable mention before you run off on it, but Jamie Benn, he's been getting back to too. I know as a fan down there in Dallas, you got to love to see the man with the C coming back, 4 goals, 3 assists in the last few games.
Yeah,
Love
he's the Benessence. The Renaissance, the Benaissance is what they were calling it down here a couple of years ago, just when he started really getting on the score sheet again. And just happy to see it. The guy's a grinder. He's the heart and soul of the team. And when he's struggling, the team's struggling. So really glad to see him putting the puck in the net. Overtime winner a couple nights ago in Montreal, or maybe it was a couple nights ago somewhere else. I think there was a shootout win in Montreal the other day, but yeah, Jamie Benn is someone to look for. I just picked up Jamie Benn in my smaller league, in my league with Goons World. So he scored me some points this week, so I'm pretty stoked about it.
Nice, I see it, John. Nobody Gunner Stall. Oh yeah. Well, you see, we see him sometimes, John, but we're trying to run this high end production here. It's tough to keep up with the comments in the back end. Maybe you can come work for Bushleague Sports. We'll give you 1 free pack rip a month. You can man the messages for us.
Let's do it.
Love you, buddy. Absolutely love you. Okay, but before we roll on, I know we got one last segment we want to do, and then we're going to get into a pack rip. But we got to decide who's winning those pack rips. So shouts to everybody that's tuned in. I did check. I made a comment on Instagram. It didn't show up on here, so I know that those aren't showing up. X. Oh yeah, X. It shows up, but it shows up. I'm not sure where it shows up actually. That says 8:25 p.m. That was before the show even started. I don't know what that's about. But either way, I see an X comment, but mostly just YouTube. So we'll figure out in the future if X and YouTube or X and whatever come up here. I'm pretty sure it's just YouTube for now. But either way, we got to figure out who's going to win those packs. So John, you won 1 point. You got 5. But our man Trav, he got 5 points because he picked all the names. So this is going to be a 5-point question, basically sudden death. Someone can come in here, tie Trav. Maybe we got a new secret listener. This is your chance to take home a big win, because what we're going to do is we are going to be ripping some Parkhurst hockey, maybe a little baseball, and I'm going to check in a few minutes, see if we can hit a magical number on this show. Actually, let's tune in right now. Let's see. Where's the channel at? 493 subscribers. If we hit 500, so go out, please give the show a share, retweet, like, pass it on, share it from wherever. I don't care. But if we hit 500 before the show ends, we're going to rip one of these bad boys from Mint Inc. 22 cards, a Panini contender. We ripped some earlier, found some good stuff in those 11 card packs. We got a 22 card. If we hit 500, this is the pack we're going to give away. If not, we're sticking with the plan. We're ripping some Parkhurst and some tops. But we got 5 points on the line. The next question, it's a big one. First person to answer on the YouTube, 5 points. We want to know, what year did the Quebec Nordiques become the Avalanche? And I'm not going to tell you the answer this time. Put her in there. We'll see you in a few. We got a little moment before we want to tell you a couple things about what's going on in those expensive winter sports.
Shredding Sassy is a social club for action sports enthusiasts from all over the world to share the love and stoke for action sports. We got chapters in Canada. We got chapters in the US, in Europe, in Asia, in Australia. We're all over the place bringing action sports to communities near you. We got discounts. We got live events. We have anything you want from an action sports perspective. So tap in with the social club. Get things like coaching from pros. Get access to pro athletes at events, in person, right to you. It's going to be a great year for Sassies, and we want you in the social club. Join the Sassies, and let's get out there, y'all. You.
Beauty. I love it. Love getting into little winter sports. Hopefully everybody's dialed in on hockey and football. But I know we got a couple events coming up in the winter sports world. Do you want to let us know about? And then we're going to get into some pack rips.
Yeah. Sounds good, man. Dude, I am really excited about some things that we are doing with the Thrash Talk podcast in collaboration here with Bushleague Sports and Shredding Sassy. We're going to do a series of pick'ems, action sports pick'ems for prizes, meaning you pick the riders that you believe are going to win some of the biggest action sports events of the year. You get points if they podium. Whoever has the most points at the end of the competition is going to win prizes. We got prize packs from Bam Bam Fitness. We got prize packs from Shredding Sassy and much, much more. But we're going to kick it all off with the Free Ride World Tour and the Free Ride World Tour Pick'em. Free Ride World Tour is going to start off. It's a 6 event series starting off in, I believe it's the week of January 18th. The Free Ride World Tour is, the big mountain event, snowboard, ski. It's absolutely wild. These guys, they throw down, man. It's probably one of the funnest events to watch, one of the most dangerous events to compete in with some of the gnarliest shredders there are in the world, man. So stoked to follow it on Thrash Talk, stoked to follow it here on Bush League and have a little fun with it, with that little fantasy aspect of the pick'em, who you think's going to win.
Yeah, I know. I love it. And I know you had set up a pick'em last year. So I enjoyed it because I never really paid much attention to the Free Ride World Tour personally. I mean, X Games, I follow NST, a lot of different events, but that kind of got me into that. And so I know you guys have a form set up. You can get it. Where is that available? On your socials?
Yeah, so we haven't dropped it yet. So we'll be dropping it on Thrash Talk Instagram and Thrash Talk X. We'll probably drop it mid to the end of next week when the form's going to drop, but event details and flyers will drop early this coming week, early Monday, Tuesday this week. We'll go over what events we're doing. We'll go over the scoring system, and guess what? For right now, it is free to play. So watch some action sports, pick your riders, do a little research and see if you can win, man. It's going to be a blast.
I love it. I had a lot of fun last year, and I know this year it'll be say if they kind of fill out the form. What we'll be able to do, hopefully by mid-year this year, is we'll actually have those pick'ems integrated right onto the website. You'll be able to come, use points, enter the pick'em right on the website. We'll tally it up and be able to give away packs and give away different prizes right here on the show. So it'd be fun. But we're probably going to hold a special place in our hearts for the people who join this first and early one. So, give us a little love, because we want to take a little info from it, see what we learn, see how many people participate, and kind of helps us set the pace of where we want to grow these different things. Because obviously Bush League Sports, we're just growing up. We're just a couple dads trying to follow our passion that we love for sports. And so it's nice when, we have so many people like we do in our community to come and support us and partake in these things and help us test run it. And I promise you, we're paying attention to who those people are, and they'll get hooked up down the road, just like people that are holding those Bush League vending tokens. It might seem dumb, but one day, it's going to pay off.
I love it, man. I just wanted to say a big thank you. So for me being a part of Bush League Sports with you and doing Thrash Talk with Keith Gable, it's been cool to be a part of these two. But to merge it with these pick'ems and these events, and eventually the Bush League Sports website that's going to be dropping later this year, it just really brings it all full circle for me. And I think we're kind of building this monster team capable of doing a lot of stuff. So, I'm just really excited about the future and the future that we're going to be able to build together.
Nice. No, I appreciate it. And obviously it's really fun to merge that and have you guys who have, a bit of experience in the shred world, especially Keith, who's a Paralympian. We really want to be able to highlight the sport he participates in, get more people introduced to those athletes and everything. So that's going to be fun. And then obviously having Joel, a 30-year professional boxer, the guy's, he's got stories that we could probably dream of. So that'd be fun to hear those over time through that show, which again, 2 weeks, we'll be back live with that. So it's going to be fun. We're kind of like our own little Barstool Sports, but just a bunch of dads trying to make it on the back end. We ain't giving up. We ain't fading into society wanting us to just work to 65. We're going to have a little fun with it.
Love it, man. Can't wait. And for you all that want to get involved in the Free Ride World Tour Pick'em, follow Thrash Talk Pod on X, follow Thrash Talk Podcast on Instagram and on YouTube. That's where we'll be dropping more information, and we'll be dropping our forms for these first few events. They're easy. It's Google Forms. Go in there, select your rider. Again, if your rider wins, you get points. The person with the most points at the end of the event is going to win the prizes. So it's going to be great.
Love it. And I think I could be wrong, but if you stay tuned at the outro, there might be a QR code that flies. So I can't remember if I put it in yet or if I updated it not, but might be able to find a QR code. Get yourself right to Thrash Talk. But I know there's a Shredder of the Week. You want to give a special shout out to someone special, and I want to get set up to rip some packs. So I'm going to give you the stage, and I'm going to get dialed in, and then we're going to announce the winner. It might not be who we expect. We got a tight race in the comments, but I'm going to be back in a couple minutes. We're going to get ready to rip a few packs. You got it, brother?
Yeah, love it. I got it from here, man. So we're talking Free Ride World Tour right now, and I want to tell you who to watch out for this season. From the male ski section, Max Hitzig. He's an absolute monster. 22-year-old kid, came on the Free Ride World Tour as a wild card in 2022. The kid's an absolute beast. He came back in 2023. Won a couple events, and then in 2024, he pulled off the World Championship, Free Ride World Tour champion title. Just throwing huge 360s out there off these gnarly cliffs, enormous backflips. Max Hitzig is your pick. I'm telling you right now, you go in and you pick Max, you are going to win some points at the Free Ride World Tour pick. That's Max Hitzig for male ski. Another rider I want to talk about is Lily Bradley, native of North Lake Tahoe. I think she's North Lake. She might be south. Let's just say Lake Tahoe, California, where I just was with Jacoby. Lily is back at it, man. She's another young rider, female snowboarder, Free Ride World Tour. Keep an eye on Lily Bradley from the U.S. to go in and turn some heads. Last season was her first season back from injury, so she's back ready to go for the 2025 Free Ride World Tour season, man. That's just another great pickup for this event. So stay tuned for more on the Free Ride World Tour Pick'em that we're going to be hosting through Thrash Talk in collaboration with Bush League Sports and Shredding Sassy, man. It's going to be a blast, y'all. And I know Tyrone's getting ready to rip some packs, man. I'm stoked.
We made her back. I think we're back.
Yeah, let's go, man. Let's go.
What's going on, brother? Sorry. So, yeah, we got to get into who won this. And obviously, thank you for highlighting Max and a few of the other riders there. And everyone, please go check them out and get tuned into what's happening with the Free Ride World Tour. But we got Jonathan Trav competing away in the comments. If I won, give it to Trav anyway. I guess 95. He got the Gunner Stall reference. These boys are just basically stroking each other off in the comments down here. But the winner, we got Trav guessing 1996. Now, Trav, 1996 was the year that they won their first cup. And I remember as a kid, like, I was rattled because I was like, you guys left Canada. You're the exact same team. And then you won as an American team. And I just had so much pride as a little Canadian back then before Trudeau stole it all. And I was like, we need to get this win for the boys. And they left and they won it. It was 96. But the technical, it was 95. They moved. It was 95-96 season. The win actually goes to Jonathan. he gets that extra point, 6-5 with the big win, but he says he wants to give it to Trav. So you guys circle jerk in the comments and we'll figure it out.
Hey, one thing about, kind of connect that all together right now. Joe Sakic was number 9 on the all-time points list, passed up by Sidney Crosby this week. Crosby moved past Sakic for number 9. Crosby's going to march his way up the all-time scorers list over the next couple of years of his contract, man. He's probably going to break the top 5. You love Sakic. Sakic is just a legendary player. Was able to hold that top 10 spot for a while. He's still number 10, but you got monsters coming like McDavid, man. McDavid's gonna shoot up those charts here within the next couple of years. Sakic's in trouble, but just great for him to be on the list for so long.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. Don't mind me getting set. You got to carry the show while I because I got to concentrate on this.
No worries.
We'll get better. We'll get better as we go.
No, I love it, man. I love it. Other points, people to watch out for. I know Malkin's moving his way up the list. Again, a legendary Russian. Malkin's about to hit number 30 on the all-time scorers list. So he's not going to make it into that top group. However, there are some great players up there. Ovechkin will make it up there. Ovechkin may hit top 10 as well, right? Ovechkin right now scoring goals, shooting for that all-time leading scorers rank list over Gretzky. Who knows, man? It may happen this year, most likely next year. But Ovi's going hard after that scoring race.
I love it. Yeah, no, it's just the Russian machine on a broken leg trying to win it. Now, everybody's tuned in every week, every Sunday. We're giving away packs live on the show on Sunday night. Me and Trav always trying to hook up the listeners. We appreciate everybody tuning in, partaking. So it's the least we can do. But today, if we hit 500, we're going to be giving away a pack of Panini Contenders 22-card jumbo from Mint Inc. Love it. One of my favorite breakers to watch. They're a bunch of beauties over there. But we got to pull the banner down here. Let's see where we got to. Bushleague Media. We went into the show 488, 493. We gained 5. I love and appreciate every last one. Yeah, but we didn't quite hit 500. But we're gonna rip. Here's what we're gonna do. You two guys over there that are circle jerking each other about who's gonna win. We're gonna rip one baseball, one hockey. So who wants what? I think you got. John, you said Trav could pick. So Trav, you want baseball or hockey? The other one's going to John. And you guys too. Everybody who's here, everybody's been hanging out. The Friends Fantasy League too this year. Shouts to everybody who participated in that. That was so fun. We're going to have lots of prizes going out. Just going to have to hold on a little bit. I know you guys at Sassy are going to send your prizes directly. Some of the other communities like Vayner Sports, AccuTires, they're going to be sending the prizes over to me. I'm going to ship it out with everything. Probably, honestly, be a couple weeks, if not a month, before I get everything, get it all packaged up, send it out. So you guys that are participating and have won some stuff in the past, don't worry, it's coming. I know there's like a whole conglomerate of stuff over the last 4 or 5 months that I'm going to be sending out. And some of you guys have won multiple things, especially people who won some of the weekly high scores, like people who took home a Gary Vaynerchuk day trading attention book. Some people are taking home different cards, all kinds of things, right? And so we'll be shipping that all out once we get it all organized here in a few weeks. But yeah, saving TKB some shipping, right? No, John, I'm already sending you a package. That's the wrong way to save shipping. I'm just going to tuck the cards you win in with the ones you've already won. So you guys circle jerk over the packs.
Well, he actually said that Travis can have both, and I think he was talking about me, Travis. I think he was saying that I could have them.
I don't know. I mean, Jonathan, all I can tell you is when we did the rip before Christmas, Trav pulled some beauties. You got some Bush League pulls. I'm gonna be honest. I mean, I'd be trying to win some more. I wouldn't be giving them all out. I mean, what am I shipping you? A couple Bush League pulls. Try to get a good one.
I'm excited about this. Is this the Panini? This isn't the Panini. We didn't hit 500, right?
No, we didn't hit 500. So we are opening the Topps Baseball 2021. There is a 70th anniversary patch. So usually per box, one of these is going to have a patch card in it somewhere. Host choice. All right. So I'm going to give Jonathan the hockey cards because he answered the hockey trivia properly. And so that's righteous. And Trav, you're getting these baseball cards. So enjoy. Trav, here we go. Topps Baseball. We got a good old stack of cards here. Let's see what we get, baby. Rookie debut, Luis Patino. Do we got good enough light here? Do we need better light?
No, it's perfect, buddy. That's great.
Jose Cantina, Luke Jackson, Jimmy Lambert, Jared Kalanick. Oh, here we go.
Okay.
Mitch Moreland, Jose Urena.
Your pronunciation of these names is phenomenal, by the way.
Is it actually?
Yeah, it's good. I'm impressed.
Wayne Thomas, Ryan McKenna.
There we go.
Okay, so these are one of the like special ones. I don't know what's special about them. They're just a little more, I guess, cardboardy than others, and they look a little different. But we got a Casey Miz from the Tigers. Oh, we got some sort of Taylor Rogers Twins card here.
Love it.
And I try to sit back so I can clip, and I'm actually in the frame. Daniel Ponce de Leon from France, got to be.
There you go, right there. Perfect.
Kyle Gibson. And what's his last card? Jace Peterson. So honestly, pretty Bush League pack. Trav, sorry we couldn't pull you anything too beauty, but way she goes. I mean, more often than not, you're going to pull Bush League. That's why we're going to be giving such good deals, giving such cheap pack rips. I mean, you're going to go pay $300? Yeah, you might pull a cool card once in a blue moon. But here, just pay for the fun, and maybe you'll get some extra sweet. You never know. That's not my motto, but maybe it is. Who's to say? No, I'm honestly.
No, I love it. I think it's awesome. This is fun. This is where it's at right now, and not a lot of people are doing this. So, man, I'm stoked to see you doing it here on Bush League Sports, and I'm glad these boys can get some cards, man.
And I can't wait to get some in your hands. I know we have a whole bunch of 1994 X Game cards that we're going to be integrating through Bush League Sports and the Trash Talk Show. People are going to be able to enter rips, and we're going to maybe have some hidden cards. You get that chase card, you're going to win some prizes. So I'm looking forward to doing some of that with you guys too. It's going to be fun. Maybe pull a Tony Hawk rookie card.
Oh, that'd be rad. That'd be rad.
All right, Packers. These ones are going out to my pal Jonathan, who answered our trivia questions, won today's trivia. Shouts to you. We got Max Domi card.
I love it. Max Domi plays for every single team in the league since then.
Yeah, it's not the team I expect to see a jersey of him on. But Adam Lowry, Chandler Stevenson. Oh, there's a shiny bad boy. We got to move that to that back. Jonathan's getting some shiny. Rasmus Kapari.
Ryan O'Reilly doing the thing.
Ooh, Andrei Svechnikov. Svech is a stud. Zach Werenski. Matt Zuccarello, stud right winger for my fantasy roster. Just a guy I almost always pick up late, and he just performs. William Karlsson from Vegas Golden Knights. Who back to back? We got Chandler Stevenson, William Karlsson, and who do we got? What are we pulling? We need like a Bush League sports sticker or something so people don't steal our content. I see all those other breakers. They got their fancy little cards they put up. Maybe we're so cheap and poor, I'll just like draw my company logo on the back of my hand. And then I'll go like this.
That's gold. That would be gold. By the way, I thought you were going to say we needed a drum roll, so I started hitting my tape.
Oh, yeah, no, we need one of them too. Oh, Bear Online, tune in. Let's go, baby, from the Not Okay Bears community. Appreciate you. Let's see what this card is. He's a shiny bad boy. Oh, I think it's another ice in the veins.
Oh, it is?
What is it? Oh, no way! No! Ovi ice in the veins. Let's go! The Russian machine has nothing but ice in his veins. He does not care about Gretzky and his silly little record. He
doesn't care about broken legs. Doesn't care about anything.
None of it.
Oh, man. That's awesome, man.
That's a beauty ice in the veins right there, baby. You know, we'll have to chat, John. I might be willing to make you some trades. I know a couple other people. I pulled the Christmas Booker sweater. Me and Trav made a nice trade for that bad boy. Appreciate you, Travis. He went home happy. I mean, if I'm making a trade for a card, I'm going to make sure you get more than you give me. But we can talk about this one. But this is a beauty. I might have to put a little ice in my veins, or it's all yours. You won her, you pulled her, baby. But thank you, boys, so much for tuning in. I appreciate that. We're going to put that in a sleeve immediately. Little ice in the veins, baby. Let's go.
Dude, I love this. I want to go down to the local card pack store. I want to go back down to the local card shop at the mall and load up, man, because this is an absolute blast going through these and, just being around the game of hockey for so long and knowing all the players, man, it's a blast watching you open them up. I got to get my son into them, man. Got to get my kids into it. And, oh, man, so cool.
I'm having trouble getting it in this sleeve for some reason. I don't know why. Sorry.
Hey,
I'm
while
trying not to
you're
wreck it.
while you're doing that, can you talk to me about how you have cards rated? So I ask you that because I don't know a whole lot about trading cards, and I don't you don't even call them trading cards, whatever you call
Well,
them.
and that's something I have to get a little more dialed into because I have so many that I do want to get graded and be able to put up like for sale for points on the Bush League site's website and stuff. But for the most part, you're going through PSA or even one of your local, like I mentioned Mint Inc., who I got these Panini contender cards from. Some of your local shops, you can take your cards in, they'll send them in for grading. But a lot of times you're just going to, want to box them up really, really nice. You're going to send them in, whether it be through PSA, KSA, whatever grading service you want to use, send your cards. And they're usually, depending, like the more valuable the card, the more expensive it is to grade it. But for a lot of these cheap cards, you're probably looking at like $20 a piece. So, I mean, that's why you see on eBay and stuff a lot when cards are selling, they're probably $20-$30 because the price of grading is 20 some bucks, right? So all of a sudden, your card's probably worth at least that. So sometimes some of these cards might only be worth $5, $6, $7. You grade them. Well, now it's a $30 card because you graded it, or maybe it's because it's a 10 now, maybe it's a $40, $50 card or something, right? But for the most part, you're just sending it into one of those like a PSA or something. I'm going to be sending in a bulk bunch so that we have a bunch to be given out in the future. But that's a beauty, Ovi Ice in the Veins. You love to see it.
I was in a group chat with a bunch of NFT folks from the Goons World community who Goons World dropped an NFT collection called Dusters. It was a hockey collection. And what they're looking at doing is bringing artists in to recreate cards from historical hockey figures, maybe them playing, maybe pictures, or maybe the rookie cards. And somebody posted a Yager rookie card. Man, we should recreate a Goons World like this. And I saw the card. I said, I had that card growing up. I bet you that
Nice.
It's in all the storage at my mom's house that I just need to go get it. And I was like, dude, I need to go get that and get that graded. A Yager rookie card? I mean, come on now. What are we even talking about here? What am I doing?
That is sweet. I mean, he's I think he just lost his chiclets not that long ago too. So, we lost our other camera here. We'll switch it over anyways.
No worries. He did. He got hit in the face and
I think I seen a post. He took one in the lips there recently. So.
Oh no, Yager, 52 years old. What is he in the Czech? I think he's in the Czech top league, maybe the Czech second league, but still, dude, Yager.
Oh, we were on the wrong camera the whole time there. That's why I had to lean so hard. Now I get it.
Oh, really? Interesting.
Yeah,
the other camera you were on was a little bit better, a little bit clearer.
Yeah, it was just it's weird. So if I'm trying to put if I want to break and have the camera right in front of me, then you're going to be looking at the one I'm breaking with. So it's
sure.
Kind of a science to figure out how to make them mesh together.
Well, I'll tell you what, it looked good. I didn't think you were leaning too hard, man. Those pack rips were absolutely phenomenal. The ice in the veins, Ovi, just doing his damn thing. That was.
I can't believe of all the people, it's an Ovi. Actually,
that was perfect. We were just talking about Ovi earlier, breaking Gretzky's record, man. So it just couldn't be more perfect as we close out Bush League Sports episode 46.
Nice one. And what's going to be going on too is in the future here, coming weeks, we're going to start, we're going to start becoming a little less Bush League over time, but we're going to be putting out a post every Friday, probably me just ranting aimlessly. And we're going to have a picker going on Instagram or Twitter, wherever we put it out, 48 hours. You'll be able to comment, tag a couple friends, maybe share it to your story for a bonus entry. And we're going to start running it every Friday, 48-hour entry. And we're going to give away someone through just simply commenting on the socials, a pack rip on the show every week. So there might be the odd week we still throw up a trivia or something like that, but I think that's going to be a fun way. So make sure you guys tune in, follow along on our socials. You can literally get your phone ready when the outro rolls. It's long. I wouldn't stay to watch it all, but if you do, you can grab a couple of QRs, check out a few things on the way out, and also be sure to tune in on Wednesday. I'll be live streaming Nifty Island. We're wrapping up our first ever Bush League quest. We got our 3D assets in the game. It's been really, really fun. So I'm looking forward to wrapping up that first quest with the Nifty Island community. It's going to be fun. But yeah, it's been good. It's been awesome to be back and chat with you. And I mean, the pack rips over Christmas were electric. I mean, we ripped so many boxes, probably 4, 5, 6 cases. So I think we're going to have to set something up in the future and just have a rip extravaganza again, because it was fun. Because just ripping a couple, it's good. But he doesn't get that juices flowing like ripping about 20 does. But again, I want to thank everybody that tuned in. Alan, Trav, Aberica, John, for just communicating and chatting with us the whole show. It makes it like so fun. So thank you guys for joining. Appreciate that a ton. And hope you guys enjoy the cards you give out. And remember, I'm waiting for a few prizes to come in to wrap up that fantasy tournament. So once it wraps up, we'll be giving it out. But before we wrap up the show too, big congratulations to the champion community in the tournament this year. Team AccuTires. I want to give a shout to their community, Glitch, Lawson for moderating, looking after it on the back end. Obviously, a big shout to everybody else, yourself, Jacoby, Michael, Max, Cal over at VSP, Aberica, Cash, all the boys over at Not Okay Bears, Joel over at Bam Bam Fitness, and then I guess fucking thanks to me at Bushleague Media for setting it all up. But a great tournament this year. AccuTires plays us in the final. They took home the win by about 30 points, I think. We might have had a couple of guys in my community that slacked, forgot to set their lineup. They forgot it was a team effort, but way she goes. But a big win for AccuTires. They take home, so basically, it's pretty sweet. So the whole point of this tournament between the Web3 communities was introducing new communities to others. And so the community that wins is taking home membership tokens from every other community. I know you guys have sent over a dozen treasure chests. You'll be able to open that, get some clothing to dress your sassy character and have your own sweet little 3D or 2D, 3D character down the road, right? But the winning community AccuTires, each member is going to be taking home an AccuTire, a VSP, a Shredding Sassy chest, Bam Bam Fitness membership, some Not Okay Bears, and Bushleague vending token, and have the ability to participate in every community. So it's kind of like a win-win no matter what for every community. You either win and you get to join all the other ones, or you lose and people join yours. And so it's really fun. And I want to thank everybody that participated this year and look forward to making it like a little more Web3 flow interactive in the future when we get all the token gating and the website running and stuff.
Yeah, it's been an absolute blast this year, and just the participation from all the communities has been phenomenal. Last year it was Sassy and Bushleague in the final, and we've had 4 or 5 additional communities this season just performing like no other, and it's been fun. It was great to see VSP's community just step in and step up and finish in the top 4. So again, man, thank you.
Bam and Not Okay Bears had absolute Bush League seasons, not very many wins, but at least they participated. They had fun. So you love
absolutely. But just, big thank you for putting this all on. And dude, it's been a great show, man. I'm so happy to be back. I tell you, sometimes coming into these shows, I'm dragging, right? It's Sunday night, just had a long weekend, usually a hockey game before the show. But then once I sit in this chair, man, get my keister all snugly, man, it's an absolute blast. So big thank you to you. I got some things to close us out with from Thrash Talk, if you don't mind.
Yeah, absolutely. I just want to mention a couple winners before you do, and then we'll let you roll up. But the Friends Fantasy League, just to name the winners as well of each individual league. Bush League, shouts to John. He was watching the show. He took home the championship, beat me in the finals. T-Duck, Shredding Sassy champion. He had the win for you guys. VSP, Hosp, with the win for them. He took home the VSP championship. Lawson took home the championship for AccuTires community. So again, big shouts to Lawson MC. Voice of Cash taking home the Not Okay Bears championship title. And Pricer, you absolute beauty, taking home the Bam Bam's Fitness League. You love to see it. And actually, special mention, I want you to get, what do you think the best record? Now, we run league median, so obviously more than 14 wins in the season. You can get 2 wins per season. The most possible wins, 28, because every week when we run that league median, you're playing your opponent, and the top 6 scores in the league are getting win. What do you think the best record in the league was?
20 and 8. 20 and 8.
20 and 8?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I like it. So if you would have paid any attention, you'd know that the top one in your league was 21 and 7. So you would know that was T-Ducky.
Yeah.
But we had a 20 and 8 in VSP for Hosp, a 22 and 6 for Lawson, which is beautiful. 23 and 5 with Voice of Cash and Pricer. But the actual top, best score of all, yours truly, the one, the only, TKB with a 24 and 4 season. I mean, there's a reason I'm here giving fantasy advice, because I'm doing it. I'm out there on the turf. I'm hitting the digital pavement, and I'm crushing these leagues. Everybody around me has no chance. They see TKB in the league. they start wondering, should I give this donation? Because that's all it is if I enter the league. And so it's just, another glorious season. Obviously, Terry McLaurin screwed me in the end, but just pure dominance, 24-4. You love to see it. Thank you.
Hey, Jonathan Thompson, I know that you're listening. Did TKB win? I thought he was just saying that that Jonathan Thompson won the league. What? They
won the league, but we're talking regular season records. Who had the best? 24-4. That is pure dominance. It's all just fluke what happens in the playoffs. But the pure dominance is showing from week 1 to 14. Because what do I got? I got David Montgomery. He's just chilling. He doesn't want to play. Terry McLaurin, he doesn't need to catch any balls. So, those weeks don't count.
Love it, man. Too fun. Well, dude, again, an absolute blast. Absolute blast, man. So want to talk a little bit Thrash Talk real quick. Thrash Talk, new episode dropping, our first episode of the year. Myself, Keith Gable. It is dropping tomorrow on YouTube and anywhere else you get your podcast. However, we're going to live stream it. I guess it wouldn't be live stream. It would be live stream after the fact on X and Instagram on Tuesday at 3 p.m. Eastern. We're going to be streaming that episode. And hey, we get a little deep in that episode. Keith right now is coming off of an injury, and he had some surgery. It's pretty graphic. So if you're not one for sites, we have some pictures of his stump being worked on, some stitches, photos. Man, it looks like a sea monster. It's crazy. But yeah, definitely tune into that one. Again, that's going to be live tomorrow anywhere you get your podcast, and then streaming on X and Instagram on Tuesday. Also, again, follow Thrash Talk Pod on X, Thrash Talk Podcast on Instagram. The Free Ride World Tour Pick'em and the Google Forms are going to be shown there. We'll promote them on this show. We'll promote them on that show. We'll promote them on any show that we can because we want to get you guys involved, and we want you guys to win prizes. So follow us there and check it out.
Love it. Well, I appreciate you as always. It was a fun one. I know it was a good holiday. It was nice to take a couple weeks off. I enjoyed it as much as I missed you. It was a nice reset, I think, for both of us. It's not the show that's hard. It's the continual grind with social media, trying to make it so people know it exists and will actually watch. That's a little tedious. So that was what was nice to get away from. But I'm glad to be back with the listeners, ripping packs and hanging out with you, my friend. So I'm stoked to do it again next week. We'll chat about, probably where we're at in the divisional. Most games will be wrapping up that on Sunday. I don't think there's Monday games next weekend, right? So we'll be able to basically touch in on the whole divisional next week and rip a couple more packs. We'll see if we break 500. This Friday giveaway is going to be for one of those big Panini contender packs. So it's going to be fun, but we're ripping. The goal this year was 2,000 subscribers for the show. So we'll see if we can make her. But again, appreciate everybody who tunes in, everybody who watches, everybody who participates. We're just a couple dads trying to follow a passion with a little sports thing. So thank you guys. It's fun.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, thanks everybody. And you know what? We'll see you next week. I appreciate it, Tyrone. Have a good one.
Later, Trav. As always, everybody, take care. We'll catch you in the future. It's always fun to come here, have a little banter with you guys, chat about everything going on in the world of sports, or just aimlessly rant, rip some packs, have a good old time. So as always, thank you guys. We'll catch you next week. Stay Bushleague, you beauties.
From the bottom, ain't no half stepping. I'm the dog, I made it through so they don't ask questions. Long Beach, and it ain't no half repping. Once a dog, always a dog, so they don't ask questions. From the bottom, ain't no half stepping. I'm the dog, I made it through so they don't ask questions. Long Beach, and it ain't no half repping. Once a dog, always a dog, so they don't ask questions. Tell them never question, dog, I'm sitting goat status. Eating chicken with my gin, smoking on some cabbage. Just a pedal on this
moment where you skate down the street and some shit for brain yells out of the window, "Do a kickflip! Do a kickflip! Do a kickflip!"
And house shoes, they know how the dog do. Skinny, heavy pockets, the West OG. Came across the globe, say they don't know me. Been applying pressure from 8 to 24 like Kobe. Mr. Hall of Fame used to bend the corners with strollies. Had to lay the blueprint, they rolled out the carpet. Any Anything I wanna own, I got my own.
Put together like a little fitness promo with the Dr. Bombay shirt and song.
Still ain't sold my guns and I still ain't had to use them though.
Well, what's up, brother? Good to meet you, man. I know there's a man behind that mask. You're such a dude, man. I appreciate you. Man. You guys are sick, man. I appreciate I collected all your shit, man. I love you. Don't do a drug for you. Coming at you live, no
All right, guys, Joel Mills here with the Bam Bam Boxing Academy. Now, these 14 workouts are specifically made to take you from simple mechanics all the way to a full fighter by the end of the 14 workouts.
So they don't ask questions.
This is some straight. Hey.
This is oh gosh.
I got thin to smoke it.
Once a dog, always a dog, so they don't ask questions. I can't name a thing that I didn't have step. From the streets to movie screens, been getting bags and checks. If it's solid, you won't hear me with no bad rep. Legendary Crippin' made it happen, and that's on the set. Still rolling on gold things, I'm a boss.
Go get it. What the fuck you waiting on, man? Let's go.
Blaming on my mom from all the crippin' I see. Blaming on my grandpa, all the hustling.
Yes, sir.
Can you smoke one through that mask, big dog?
He got his own club. It's lit too. And they was curious. Dr. Bombay, can you sign this one too? I just showed Dr. Bombay how to write. He been in the jungle. Nigga can write. He can't talk, but the motherfucking write. I showed him something. Look at it. Go ahead. Find your spot, Bombay. Remember how I told you? Yeah, there you go right there. Yeah, remember that? D R B. Spell it out. Sound it out. Bay. CEO.
That's the one hell. That's some good weed. Is that your weed? Is that just big dog weed?
That's some shit that we got when we was out here.
Oh, that's our shit. Okay, I like it.
That's Canada's finest, baby. They bring me the best from the CA.
I fucking don't expect any less.
I love it. Once again, scratch that off your bucket list. Come hang out with your favorite dog. How much is that dog in the window? Ask somebody.